and welcome back to another episode of the all-new TTown 411 report in our community conversation. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Sometimes things happen, so I want to thank everybody for chiming in. Sorry for being late. But hey, it's my birthday, so what can I do? I can do that, right?
Right.
All right. We're broadcasting live from McKinstry Banquet Hall, located at 5480 Jug Factory Road here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We're also broadcasting live on Sound Booth Radio and Sound Booth TV. Mike, tell them how can they sound in on Sound Booth Radio and Sound Booth TV.
Sure thing, Daryl. To check us out on the radio side of Sound Booth Radio, just go to your iOS or your Google Play Store, download the Live 365 app. Once you download that app, in the search bar, type in Sound Booth Radio 106.1. That'll get you on with us on the radio side of Sound Booth Radio. Check us out on the video side. Just go to your Facebook and look for Sound Booth Radio 106.1, or you can look up my page, Michael K. Wilson. Or you can go to YouTube and type in Sound Booth Radio 106.1. That gets you on with us on Sound Booth TV.
Well, we want to thank everybody for chiming in. I want to thank Tina Sanders, Jacqueline Bryant, checking in all the way from Florida. Thank you for chiming in. As always, Veronica provided us with the COVID update. As of DCA Systems, tomorrow they will give a new update on June 22nd. Per New York Times in Alabama, here are the latest trends. An average of 1,408 cases per day were reported in Alabama. In the last week, cases have increased by 70% from the average 2 weeks ago. Deaths have decreased by 84%. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, education, and research. I want to say hello to Miss Rosa Johnson, Fleetwood Sanders, all of you all. Thank you for all the birthday wishes from everybody. Thank you all for chiming in each and every week right here on the program. And we just want to thank everyone. Tonight we got two special guests. We're going to bring them aboard with us in just a moment. But before we bring them aboard, we're going to go ahead and do our quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back because we're going to talk about a lot of things that's been going on. But it's a special event that's taking place real soon on July the 1st. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we're going to bring them on board with us. Okay? So stay tuned. We'll be right back, guys.
Hello?
Hey, Rick, I had to call you to tell you that the food that you brought to the party last night was wonderful. It made me think about my grandmother's cooking. Where did you get that food, brother?
I went down to Thomas' Rib Shack to pick up the ribs, but when I got there, I seen that they had more than just ribs. I seen baked chicken, fried chicken, corn muffins, vegetables, apple pie, peach pie. And I looked around and I seen a sign that told me that they got chitlins and oxtails on Sunday. Oh, all I can tell you, go down to 2931 15th Street or just give them a call like I did at area code 205-759-5010. Thomas Rib Shack, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Head on down to Archibald and Woodrow, some of the best barbecue in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, y'all. Right off of 4125 Greensboro Avenue, Tuscaloosa, Alabama 35405. You can hit them up at 205-331-4858. Also, you can find them at their other location, 1211 Martin Luther King Boulevard, Northport, Alabama 35476, 205-345-6861.
Tastes so good, make you want to slap your mama.
Get your event jumping with Caroline Shines and Impulse Band. Impulse Band has been together for over 7 years, and they haven't missed a beat yet. The band has and will play in various venues and doesn't mind traveling to you. being led by Alabama Blues Hall of Famer herself, Mrs. Caroline Shine. Impulse has opened up for Bobby Rush, LJ Eccles, Tank, Fantasia, Calvin Richardson, just to name a few. The Impulse Band will surely fit your need for entertainment. Dial 205-887-6859 or 205-887-5026. Or you can just email them at shinesbrightly@yahoo.com. Caroline Shines and Impulse, the band made just for you.
Okay, we're back, y'all. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We'll be back. We're back. We're about to bring up our guests right quick. Let me sign them in right quick. We got four guests. Well, let me swap that out. Let's see. Dorcas, take small, please. 1 second. 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna get y'all because I want y'all to be the key. Ken, okay, there he is. Ken, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good. Just want to make sure I had everyone in place. So y'all are good. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right. Thank you so much for coming on the program. People wanted to know about the upcoming event that's going to take place on July the 1st. So we're going to let ladies go first. We're going to let Dorcas tell a little about what's going on July 1st, and she can also tell a little bit about herself.
Okay. It's the Rhythm and Boom fireworks show. It will be July 1st at Foster Farm. The show starts, I'm sorry, the gates open at 7. The show starts at 8. And it is kid friendly, so bring your kids out. Come out, have a good time, and enjoy the music. It will be hosted by TK Perry, and DJ Mike MT Hollywood will be on the ones and twos. And that's really it about the show as far as that part is concerned and where to be at what time. Like you said, I am Dorcas. I'm an R&B singer and a gospel singer, and I will be singing that night as well. Will be performing as well.
Well, Dorcas, I know we are all so used to going to the Foster Farms back in the day, but this is going to be held at H&H Farms. Is
I'm
that
sorry.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, this is being held
Yes.
at H&H Farm, and is located on in Foster's, Alabama, on Highway 11. The address, I have to get the address from now. Make sure people know the address. Um, Coming up soon. I think the address is 14366 Highway 11 in Foster's, Alabama. So they both kind of almost close to one another. But this is going to take place on July the 1st. This is on a Friday. School is out. Families can come out. This is a family event, so it's kid friendly. And sound like y'all going to have some artists along with yourself. And it's hosted by comedian TK Perry and DJ by DJ MT or DJ Hollywood himself. On the program with us also is Mr. Kenny Key, who goes by the name of Mr. Soul. Tell me your Soul Keeper, Mr.
It,
Soul Keeper. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Soul Keeper.
hey, how you doing? I'm
Good.
from Selma, Alabama,
Uh huh.
and I just started on a little blues mission, and it's been on the rise from there. And I'm hoping to come to the city and give people a little bit of what I came to do.
I watched the video on your Facebook page of, I think you did a show on Father's Day weekend back here with Tier One.
Yeah, yes, sir. It was Sunday.
Okay. Tell us a little bit how was that experience? Is this your first time on the road or do
There
you
was
tell
I've
me?
I've done it once before, but it was rap, and
Uh huh.
I started doing blues now, cause like you know how it is when you get a little grown and you get a little knowledge. I like a lot of soul in me.
Gotcha. So right now, Southern Soul is kind of leading the team of music right now.
Yes, sir. And
Okay.
I like it a lot.
Well, I know
And
Dorcas is an R&B singer. I heard her on several occasions. She sings R&B. So this sounds like it's going to be a variety of different entertainment from Southern Soul to R&B. Who is the other artist y'all might have on the show, Dorcas?
The other artists are Two Soul and Terrell Cartel.
Okay, and they
And I
rap.
haven't met them, but I know they're good.
Oh,
So
Kenny, you know what kind of artists they sing? What kind of music they sing or rap?
say it say it again.
The other two artists on the show with you are. You know anything about them?
Oh no, sir, no, sir.
Okay, okay,
yeah, this will be my first time meeting everybody. So
Yeah.
I think we're all kind of be new to each other.
okay. But this is taking place July the 1st. This is the Friday before the 4th of July weekend. Well, actually, y'all kicking off the 4th of July weekend. And some of I think some of the reason they want people to come on out because it's going to be a big fireworks show as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. So, basically, if you're looking for something to do on Friday evening, the gates open at 7 o'clock.
The gates open at 7. Show starts at 8. And thank you for that correction. It is at H&H Farm.
Okay.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And it's
I'm looking
absolutely
forward to it.
free. And you're saying it's
Yes,
absolutely free,
it is
no
free,
cost. Wow,
no cost.
And it's family oriented too, right? So we can bring the kids out, everybody have a good old time, listen to good music.
It's
sounds
gonna be
good.
safe too. It'll be a safe area.
Yeah. Oh, I've done several events down at H&H Farm. Very, very clean environment. Um, the owner himself is always looked out for to make sure people are safe, especially when it's children involved. They host a lot of different events. They had Southern Soul, then had gospel explosion there. So it's a well known venue here in Tuscaloosa. It's located in Foster's, and I've done security on many occasions. So never have I witnessed any incidents that I can even think of. Only incident I can think of is just people trying to get in there. So, especially when you have great shows like what's coming up, I can imagine there'd be an overflow of people trying to get to the event center there at H&H Farm. Mike, you got any questions? We're gonna be broadcasting this all week, letting people know about it. Because we only have another week and a half in the month of June, in the week of June anyway. And right now, so just being absolutely free, we'll keep broadcasting and letting people know about it each and every week. Uh, Mr. Soul Keeper himself gonna be performing, getting ready. A brand new artist in the in the Southern Soul circuit. And like I said,
Yes, sir.
you were singing a song that had a little catchy tune to it. I liked it. Hopefully, other people get used to it. So, looking forward to seeing it.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to doing it.
Okay. Southern Soul from Selma, Alabama. Mr. Soul Keeper himself will be performing along with Dorcas, Lyles, Britford. Um, Dorcas is a business owner here in Tuscaloosa. She has I'm gonna let you tell it, the Gazelle Productions photo.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, it's Gazelle Productions Portrait Studio. We are a family photographer. We do weddings as well, events, animal photography too. So just about any type of photography that you could ever want, that is what we do. And that is our goal here to give people affordable photography, but a professional experience as well.
I gotta send your name too. I still get calls about doing weddings, and I've retired that portion of business, but I'm going to send your number from someone else that was looking for a photographer.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem, no problem. Always looking forward to helping someone. Always looking forward to it. Well, hey y'all, we appreciate it. Y'all can hang on, talk with us. Anything else y'all like to announce or say?
Just come out next weekend. It's great performing in front of a lot of people. So we just look forward to seeing everybody.
And my kids more excited than anything for the fireworks.
Okay, okay. Well,
Absolutely.
looking forward to it, y'all. Like I said, Mr. Soulkeeper, I witnessed your show, and I ain't gonna tell people about it. I want them to come out and see it themselves and
Okay.
check it out. Sound like you got it going on. Sound like you got it
Yes,
going.
sir.
All right. Hey, once again, we thank you all for coming on the program. You can hang
Thank
around if you
you.
like.
Thank
Um,
y'all.
I know y'all got busy schedules and everything, so just keep watching and letting people know about the program. We're gonna let people know about this throughout the night and throughout the weeks to come. I think, matter of fact, Thursday I'm supposed to have a couple more people that's acquainted with the program, with the show. So we'll have them on with us Thursday also. So we're gonna really push this rhythm and boom pretty good for everybody.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back, y'all, and we'll see you in just a second.
Right.
Get your event jumping with Caroline Shines and Impulse Band. Impulse Band has been together for over 7 years, and they haven't missed a beat yet. The band has and will play in various venues and doesn't mind traveling to you. Being led by Alabama Blues Hall of Famer herself, Mrs. Caroline Shine. Impulse has opened up for Bobby Rush, L.J. Eccles, Tank, Fantasia, Calvin Richardson, just to name a few. The Impulse Band will surely fit your need for entertainment. Dial 205-887-6859 or 205-887-5026. Or you can just email them at shinesbrightly@yahoo.com. Caroline Shines and Impulse, the band made just for you.
For over 27 years here in Tuscaloosa, Catfish Heaven has been pleasing our taste buds with their delicious catfish, pan trout, hot wings, coleslaw, hush puppies, and don't forget about those made-to-order French fries. Whether it's your snack time, lunchtime, or dinner time, give the guys a call over at Catfish Heaven at 205-752-7222, or you can make your order online at catfishheaventuscaloosa.com. So head on over to Catfish Heaven at 2502 21st Street. See you there.
Okay, we're back. We want to thank everyone that's chiming in on the program each and every week. Got a lot that took place this past weekend. It was a great Juneteenth weekend that took place here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Father's Day weekend, of course, first day of summer today. A lot of people having birthdays in the month of June. A lot of
Yes.
anniversaries, a bunch of weddings. Man, just a lot of activities that took place this particular weekend throughout West Alabama and the surrounding counties. Matter of fact, I think they had York Day, then you had Utah had the Green Track had the Caring Wolf and O.B. Buchanan. We had Nathaniel Kimball, the Juneteenth celebration, along with Caroline Shine. Man, just so much was going on this past weekend. And we just want to thank everybody that participated in all the activities. And it was a safe weekend of activities that took place. Before we go any further, Mike, I'm going to go ahead and do my prayer right now. I just want to say, we get behind and we can have some things that took place. So if everyone just join me for a quick prayer, as we do this, we always have to recognize our Lord and Savior. So Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity to come on the airwaves and share out this throughout this community, throughout our friends and family. We thank you for all you have done, all you do for us, Heavenly Father. Right now, I want to thank you for another birthday today, number 57. Sparing me to see another day here on earth, Heavenly Father. Right now, we're praying for all the bereavement families. I want to pray for Miss White, Angela White, and her family right now. They go through the loss of a loved one during our community here in our community. We're praying for her family and the families that are victim by suspect or being a suspect of this case scenario. Heavenly Father, we're praying for all our doctors and nurses, police, fire, mail carriers, our delivery persons, everyone, all our essential workers. Heavenly Father, we're praying for our Benjamin Barnes branch and YMCA. We're praying for all our governors and president, our mayors and council and commission people. We're just praying for everybody, Heavenly Fathers. We're asking that special prayer for all the sick and shut in right now. Those at the nursing home, continue to look over them. Heavenly Father, go into the streets and please look over all the ones that are lost souls that are wandering throughout the street that's looking for a guidance. We're praying for all our pastors and associates and all the ones. We're praying for all our church members and families. In your son Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Mike, y'all just don't know. I be getting inboxes. Pray for me. Pray for this. Pray for I just gotta the list keep growing longer and longer. And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I try to remember as many people as I can that's asking for prayer because prayer is a form of confidence, faith that everything's going to be all right. So we just going to keep praying for everybody, regardless of who you are, where you are. We're praying for the bereavement families. Crime strike in our community once again this past weekend. Once again, Miss Angela White and her family, we're praying for them to get over well, I know it's hard to get over, or just wrap your arms around them right now, the loss of her son. Along with that, it's been hot. Other than that, it's been hot, hot, hot.
That was Angela White, though.
Yes.
Yeah, we was just actually discussing that, Daryl, during the commercial break, Veronica and myself.
Mm-hmm.
We thought we was gonna probably make it through the whole entire weekend, the Juneteenth celebration in Tuscaloosa, at Palmer Park. There was hundreds of people there, and we had a very good time. And it was people there from beginning to end in the extreme heat, and there was no incidents. And kind of had you feeling good about the incident and about the event. And then the next day, on the actual Juneteenth holiday, you have the shooting.
Yeah.
And then you lose someone. So we were just saying, what I was just saying that, to have these events, and we were talking about all the events that are going on here this summer. You have the Rhythm and Boom July 1st. I think there's if I'm not mistaken, you said something about a Southern Soul concert that's going to be at Palmer Park. I'm not exactly. Did you say August or did you say July? I'm not sure.
It's in Labor. It's in September, Labor Day weekend.
Okay. So, well, and then Labor Day weekend, but there's also going to be a gospel explosion going on in September also, which I sent you that flyer there.
Okay.
So you can get it. We put it up later.
Okay, will do. I see it.
So there's a lot, and majority of these events are free. I'm not exactly sure about that Southern Soul concert might be a price to it, but most of everything is pretty much free to the public, and you can go out and it's family friendly. So it's something to do all summer long for the family.
Yeah, so here's what the flyers say, Mike. It's the Midas Touch LLC present Gospel Explosion 2022 celebrations, Psalm 59 and 16. Come worship and praise with us. It's going to take place on September the 25th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Harmon Park, which is on 2901 Greensboro Avenue, across from the Old Salvation Army. It's a food truck and business vendors needed with table and tent, $50 without $25. Contact Joya France, Venus France, at
Frank, yeah.
499-2468 or my Modest Touch LLC at gmail.com. So I guess it kind of need to clear that up for his. Oh, okay, I understand. So if you're a business vendor with table and tent, it's $50, and without, it's $25. Okay. So this is from 3 p.m. to 7. They don't say anything about who's going to perform, if there's going to be a performance.
I think that the last time I talked to her, which was actually Sunday, she said she's still taking groups and singers inquires if they want to perform, just get in touch with her, and they will get you signed up to perform.
Okay.
So if you got a choir or you got a singing a gospel singing group, they are all welcome to this gospel disclosure.
Okay. Great. I know a great. There's a gospel DJ here in Tuscaloosa that had an opportunity to expose himself, but I've heard him on several occasions. Got a great voice. Just hadn't had the exposure, but he's a great gospel singer. DJ.
Yeah, Daryl, I actually kind of, because everybody keeps telling me what kind of voice you got, so we thought you were going to get up there and grab a mic and get a solo in.
I didn't get a chance to do the King George version of myself, but soon.
Yeah, gospel is supposed to be beautiful. Gospel is supposed to be perfect for you to go out there and show yourself and show your talent. So we can check you out.
I might think about doing that.
And Veronica said she'll sing backup for you.
I hear you.
The delusions of Brandon.
But it's been hot. I mean, the conversation, y'all, has been hot. I'm pretty sure y'all heard about the 5-year-old that was it Florida or Texas? Or might be wrong. But anyway, the 5-year-old that was left in the car by his mother because she thought it was a 5-year-old. She was getting ready for her 8-year-old birthday party and thought the 5-year-old had gotten out the car with them. And 3 hours later, they come to find out the child had died.
It tends to happen every year, Daryl. You see that somebody winds up leaving a child in the car by accident. Especially with the heat that today, I was looking at my the thermostat, and that joker said the heat index was 110.
Yes.
Today.
Yes.
Yeah, that's absolutely dangerous temperature to be outside. Now, of course, they'll say, "Oh, the actual air temperature is 95," but the feel like temperature, you got a lot of humidity out there that's making it feel like 110 degrees outside. That's that air that you can wear. Yeah, that's real dangerous, and young people, I don't think that they can. And Veronica, maybe you can tell me a little better about this, but I don't think they can regulate heat as much as an adult, or they don't realize just how hot they are. Well, when you're 5 years old, though, it really doesn't matter how you regulate heat. You can't be in a car that long. Like it's just like with elderly.
Yeah, Daniel said it happened in
The
Houston.
stages, but just think of anybody, a healthy individual in a car for whatever length of time, and it's like 102 degrees, and the heat index is even higher. It's supposed to be 102 here, 2 days this week. I don't know if it's Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday, but it's supposed to be 102. Yes. As of yesterday here. So it's anybody. A child is not going to be able to tolerate it because the child's they're gonna go to sleep. And then when he probably at 5 years old, I don't know why he didn't yell to get out of the car or he didn't. You know, a lot of times you got kids like that, 4 or 5 years old, when you get out of the car, they move or they saying something. So I don't know if maybe he was asleep. I don't know how he could have got it up, but it happened.
Well, y'all, we're getting interrupted.
Happy birthday, dear Daddy. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, my.
No, we started to join in, but we didn't want to mess it up.
All right. They got my cake. Thank y'all. Thank you. That's them kids and grandkids, I tell you. Thank you. I tell you. They want to go ahead and cut that cake. That's why they did that. They want to hurry up and cut that chocolate.
Oh yeah, no, everybody got to get sliced cake.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Van Horn said, it's sad also how the voter certification lady in Georgia has been living in fear and gained 60 pounds. Woo! My.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just like I said, it happens because I've heard it happen before where kids have been left, but it's just, and you always say how, but you know, it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
So, you know, a lot of times people say things and it makes a parent or whoever just feel guilty, but I mean, it happens. And y'all, sometimes we go into a room and we forget what we went into the room for. And I know children are far way more important than material things, but I'm just saying, our friend in the house planning to do something and run back out. And y'all, I just got caught up in doing something at home and the car just ran. So, you know, but nobody was in there, but it's just easy to, sometimes it's sad to say, but it's easy to forget. And I don't know, maybe she like to, she planned the party, her mind is on the party, her mind's probably a lot of other places. And the little 8-year-old, if he was with her, his mind, her mind's probably on the party. I just hate it so much that the 5-year-old was left in the car. And apparently, I mean, I'm just wondering if he or she was asleep because if the parent didn't lock the door, I would have thought at some point a 5-year-old could get out.
Well,
unless they got child protectors or not, I think they still can get out.
Well, what happened, or according to the article that I read, it said that she was in a rental car, and the child is used to getting out of the seatbelt, but the child restraint on the door was not a part of it. It's just that it was a different car that they normally have. So, a lot of thank you. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for all the birthday wishes, you all. Thank y'all, everybody. Let's think about this. Today was a primary runoff election day, and we those that voted Democrat only had to worry about one race, which was the governor's race, Democratic nominee for governor. Looked like the turnout was terrible when I went to the polls, and I got there by 6:30. Drove by, and when I drove in, of course no one was in line. When I left, 2 people were coming in line, and the word was, well, we don't really know who we're going to vote for, but we're going to vote. I think the Democratic Party got to do.
It's always bad when you have these runoffs. It's like sometimes are worse than others, and I think this time the turnout was really low.
Really, Veronica, if I had to guess in Tuscaloosa County, I think it's probably under 500 people went and voted today.
You probably, I would say right. I think the one thing that really hurt the Democratic governor race is that no one really even knew the governor, anybody who running for governor on the Democratic side.
True.
That's what most people were saying. Like, I don't even know who running. How many people running?
Yeah.
You know, like I heard that from so many different people, and it was like you were getting hit in the head constantly when you had all the Republicans running for governor.
Mm-hmm.
You even getting hit in the head with Katie Britt and what's his name? Mo Brooks. Who's running again?
Bo Brooks.
Mo Brooks. Bo Brooks. You still getting hit in the head with them for their runoff for. So it's a drastic difference in what we got going on here in the state of Alabama with the Republican Party and the financial amount they're putting out compared to the Democratic here in the state of Alabama, not having the same amount of finances to put into a campaign.
I know where I went to vote at today, it was the same there. We were the only people that were there. There wasn't no line, there wasn't no waiting. You walk right in, got your paper, signed it, vote for who you voted for, walked out. There was no issue. So yeah, that turnout was low.
And truthfully, that's honestly how many people remember that today was the runoff election day?
Probably not many. But even if they had, it seems, I don't know why, it seems to be low always for whatever the reason or another.
That is true. That is true. But
even when they know it turns out being low.
They should make it a big, hey, y'all, this is runoff election day. Y'all make sure y'all go out and vote. Like some way, shape, or form or fashion, the Democrats got to be made. They have to be seen a little bit better than they are. I understand when it comes down to finances. I personally have never run for public office. Just talking to you, Daryl, running for a public office, how expensive it is for just a city or a county office. I can imagine how much more it is to run for a state office. Mm-hmm. But so I think we got to do something else with the Democratic Party, because at this particular moment in time, if you look at the commercials for all the Republicans that run, they literally only talking to Republicans like there's only Republicans in the state of Alabama.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all they really have to talk to, and basically it doesn't really matter who wins, whether Mo Brooks or Katie Britt wins. That's probably going to be the next senator.
Right. Because I don't even know who the Democrats.
It's sad. People don't like you to say it, but I mean, it is what it is, and the truth is the truth. This is a red state. They vote against their best interest. Republicans vote against their best interest. All the ones that are voting for them, half the time, I ain't trying to be funny, but it's a lot of them that'll come out from all types of woods, creeks, and crevices and vote against their own best interests. They may not like the Democratic Party, but they really, truly, financially, literally, figuratively cannot afford to be Republicans, but they do because they like the thought of control. They like being a part of a party of control.
Oh yeah. And they know money gonna run. The more money you pump into it, the better your results will be.
Well, a lot of them that's voting because they don't even have money. That's the thing. They're able to get them out. They're able to convince them to still come out because they convince them that it's a matter of power. You vote with us, you have power. And then as far as power over people, you can tell a woman what to do, but can't nobody make you wear a mask. You can tell a woman what to do, but can't nobody make you put up your firearms. You can tell somebody that mandates aren't good as long as they're against what you're for, but mandates are great if they're for what you're for. So they get into a lot of these people's heads who don't really even have money, and they get the vote. They get that vote. But of course, the ones with the money are pumping the money into them. But then the ones they're getting the votes from the ones who don't have money.
Oh, yeah. And you got a lot of white Democrats that's voting Republican. You got that going on too.
Well, sad to say, we got a lot of black Democrats, or black people in general that are voting Republican.
Yeah. Yes.
To look at these commercials once again, almost every last person that was on that commercial is I side with Trump. I'm gonna build a wall. I'm gonna do what everything Trump said.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost like that's the major thing to say in the state of Alabama, because I kind of remember Trump not winning, but perhaps maybe I'm biased. I don't know. But that's how they look at it.
He don't see the sold. And he knew he sold them on good ground down here in Alabama. He knew what he was doing.
Is Katie Britt?
Whether he's gonna get another term or not.
Is Katie Britt from Tuscaloosa? Is Katie Britt from Tuscaloosa?
I'm gonna do what Trump said do, and we're gonna make America great again, and all this, stuff he was saying. That was the seed. Now you seeing the growth of those seeds, especially in this state. You see it.
Well, I went and voted today. Danny Van Horn said him and on here went and voted today. I did go.
Yep, we got them voted too.
I hate to make excuses. Like I said, I just don't think that a lot of people even realize that they was a runoff election day. B, I would like to say that a lot of folks probably didn't go up because it was hot. But then I can't say that because if it's an event that they wanted to go to, they were very heat. So
more so than the fact that it was hot, I think a lot of them didn't go because even in spite of them knowing or not knowing who it was, whoever it is, they know they're not going to be chaotic. Sometimes when people just know something, they know Alabama is not trying to make the curve like Georgia did. They're not trying to turn the corner like Georgia did. No. At least with Georgia's Senate race, it's Raphael against Herschel. Now they just might be crazy enough to put Herschel in there because right now the race is 46%, and he is a Republican. But hopefully somebody will be able to get to Herschel so that he won't go up there and make a complete idiot of himself if he happens to win. But we're hoping Rap does win. So Georgia was able to turn that corner, but Alabama, Mississippi.
Don't forget Tennessee.
I'm just saying Alabama, Mississippi because Tennessee does do something. It is on the political stage. We know that's just like saying something like Wyoming or something. But as far as Tennessee goes, but it's just like we know California going to be mostly Democrat. They do have some Republican representatives, but my thing with Alabama and Mississippi is that they don't see the people there don't see big issues. They only see not even what's good for them. Just if they can control somebody.
Yep.
If they can control somebody.
At what point in time do Alabama and Mississippi want to stop being the bottom of the barrel?
Look at who's leading the pack to turn over Roe versus Wade, to reverse that. Mississippi.
Yeah.
At least Mississippi did come along when it comes to generating money as far as casinos and stuff like that. Lottery. They've been with the casinos, lottery. So sometimes I think they outdoing Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I know if you can get to certain, if you're looking at certain aspects or certain ways of living or certain statistics, yeah, we might outrank them a little bit. But when it comes, I think we may still outrank them a little bit in education. So with this addition of the lottery, they already had the casinos. I think they start paying people better, doing right. If they're doing right, and I don't live over there, so I don't know if they're doing right with the money. But that's the reason a lot of them can't get passed over here. They want to put it in the wrong kind of fund, the general fund. So If they start to do right, after a while, we may start seeing the benefits of them having a casino and now lottery, and it may start to skyrocket above Alabama.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely think that
living is super low.
I think the other part about that too, like I was looking at the news today and they were talking about across the South, there's going to be a lot of schools that are not going to have resource officers because there's a critically low amount of qualified officers, law enforcement, and retired law enforcement even for active duty and for resource officers. Uh, I want to say that with some of that money might actually try to go to that. Alabama's not trying to. And Daryl, maybe you can tell me more about this because you're a former officer.
Oh, and my condolences to the officer in Montgomery, y'all. There was an officer killed that he took him to Georgia. I think Albany, Georgia, to try to save him. He was I think, involved in a chase. Young black guy, 24 years old. I don't know if it was. I think it was a couple of days ago. And it was just sad. They had an image of him. I think CBS had it on Facebook, and they had an image of him. He was 24 years old, had a fiance, and he was involved in a chase. I think his car left the road or something like that. And I think he was a Montgomery police officer. So, my condolences to him. He's not in Tuscaloosa, not a Tuscaloosa resident, but he's in Alabama, in Montgomery. We hit Montgomery 2 hours away or less.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're going to talk about that. It came across my mind today. I wanted to wait till after Crone's funeral. I did the news broadcast with Jabari 2 Sundays ago. Yeah. Well, not this past Sunday, Sunday before. In relation to the amount of law enforcement officers been killed in the line of duty this year. On last Sunday, it was 188. So as of today, it's probably at least 210. Just throughout the country. But we're going to talk about that in a little bit more in depth, probably on Thursday, just to kind of make law enforcement awareness a little bit more here in our community, how important police officers are and what valuable access. Every comments that I was reading about Forrest Kenneth, there was if you watched the memorial service, everyone was just saying how nice and pleasant he was. If you knew him, he was a nice young man, very pleasant, very manable, and this is just something worth talking about.
Dedicated too, Daryl. They said that that was actually his day off.
Yes.
The day that saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think that like with every you have people that have a calling to do it. Perhaps I think that was a calling for him to do it. You have jobs that you love to go to. Yeah. Nobody, what I'm saying? It might be hard work, it might be whatever. But what I'm saying, hey, I just love doing it.
Right.
And I think that those people are called to do that job. I think people are meant to do those jobs. What I'm saying? So I think that he was a police officer that was meant to do it. And trying to find people now that have that same type of calling, because I think if you have that type of calling, you would make the best type of police officer. If that makes any sense.
It makes sense, right? That makes a lot of sense. And and don't get me wrong. People need to be paid what they're worth. But just look at it from this point of view, or I look at it from this point of view. there's enough amount of money that you can say worth putting your life on the line for people, objects, property and stuff like that. But like you said, take a dedicated person to do that job. I used to say, and I kind of still say it, we as police officers probably is very mentally challenged because how many people actually put their life on the line knowing that any given day and time someone can really take you out?
I heard that. I heard that about both police officers and firefighters.
Mm-hmm.
They say something got to be kind of awful to go running toward danger.
Running towards danger.
If it's a fire or something going on, a firefighter runs towards that fire. They run into that building.
Mm-hmm.
If there's gunfire going on, police officers are supposed to. Well, most of them are trained to go toward the gunfire.
Go to the danger, towards the threat. But
That's right.
that's just something instilled in people. Now everybody don't have that. I mean, there's been people that want to be law enforcement officers and realize, oh, this job ain't for me.
Yeah.
Just going to an accident scene and seeing the blood or seeing the outcome of a fatality or something, they stop right then and there. It ain't cut out for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Just like being a nurse or a doctor, going into that field and you start seeing. I had a friend who wanted to be a surgical nurse, and when she went into to an operating room and saw all that stuff, she knew that she wasn't able to do it. It's you know what I'm saying? Like some people are able to do it and don't bother some people aren't able to do it.
Right.
So and that I think that's with every job. I think that's with every job. You got people that go to a job for a paycheck. They usually don't do the best job that they can do. But they don't care about it. Those who care about the job, who kind of love the job, they give their all each and every time. So I think there's definitely when you talking about somebody that's there to protect and to serve, that carries a firearm that could potentially take a life. You definitely want somebody who's there for more than just a paycheck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We was talking a couple weeks ago about the school security situation, and I think a couple days later, Calera school system announced that they were paying $24.99 for officers to come in and to do work part time or full time for their school system for their schools.
I was looking at the news today, Daryl, and they were trying to expand that throughout the state because they're concerned that there's going to be more schools without a resource officer than there are going to be schools with. And they said they're actually looking for. They're really short. They're short. They're really short officers, and they're short like 198 nurses or something like that across the state. Mm-hmm. And it may be different now.
Well,
may be different.
My point that I want to make is, remember, we got guys that's working right now in our school system for $15.45.
Mm. Wow.
Like you said, people want to be paid what they work. They want to be paid what they work. They want to be paid by their experience.
Yeah. But we did hear that they working on the pay plan. They working on the plan now. It's working on the plan, but and it is.
That should have been worked on. It's too much.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Sean. Because if you think about it, I think that what's the slap in the face is the danger that law enforcement and firefighters and anybody who's out there doing these type of jobs, they go out there on a daily basis in a dangerous situation. And then you hire in somebody who's and mind you, I don't want to take away from the importance of any job. Somebody come in and they making $5,000 less than you a year to be on social media. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's a slap in the face. You know, hey, I go to this cushy job and play on the internet all day. Oh, I got to go out here and deal in the elements and let somebody shoot at me or chase folks because they steal in and protect people and actually, let's be completely honest. A police officer is a counselor, is a halfway a doctor. Well, not a doctor. I'll say EMT. Yeah. So they traffic control.
Everything. They got a lot.
Crowd control. All of this stuff. All in any given day. Like they don't never know what they're gonna get from day one to the day two.
Nope. Every hour is just every minute. It could be different.
It's the jobs like that. Teachers, nurses, firefighters, and the list goes on up. They are so highly underpaid. And it's been happening. It's not something that's new. And my thing is, why haven't you prepared for this? You want to keep officers, you want to keep nurses, you want to keep teachers, you want to keep these important people in the state, pay them. You want to keep them in the city, pay them. Pay them.
Yeah.
Because when they leave and go somewhere else to work, why are they leaving? Because the pay ain't right. They'll jump and run to Calera because they ain't getting paid nothing.
That's a $10 difference.
Huntsville, they'll run to Georgia, they'll run to Tennessee, they'll run to another state because they ain't getting paid.
That's a $10 difference.
Because they ain't getting paid.
Calera is what, Northport size? I know it's in Shelby. I think it's part of Shelby County, but I'm just saying Shelby or Jefferson, one of them. But as far as the community or the school system is probably about the size of Northport. And I'm just saying that's a $10 difference that they're willing to pay their people compared to what we're doing here in a much more populated community.
So, it's saying $10.54 more.
Yeah.
Than what they paying here.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then you look at the side of the city of Tuscaloosa, that when they want to be, hey, we the city of Tuscaloosa, but when it comes down to some funding, it's we're really not that big. We're only the size of we're really a town. To be honest, to be frankly honest, that's all we are. We're a small town.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying but when they want to do the things that they want to do, we're the city of Tuscaloosa. Big city. Let them say it.
I got you. I know what you're saying, Mark.
So I don't subscribe to that. We're gonna swing the door the way we want to swing it for the best thing to serve us. When it comes down to law enforcement, we've been sitting here talking about it. I know all year long. We were talking about the violence that's been going on in the city of Tuscaloosa. And one thing that has been saying, well, law enforcement this, law enforcement that. Well, we short law enforcement. They had to shut down the 2 annex buildings, the 2 precincts, because they ain't got enough people to put in them. Even though they say they're not shut down, but you know, if you can see anything, you know that they're shut down because they definitely wouldn't be letting weeds grow up, vines grow up on top of the building if they were still in the building. That's all I'm saying.
That's right.
So that's telling you right there, we ain't got enough people. But I would dare say that the city of Tuscaloosa got more police cars than they got police officers.
Yes, they do. They got training cars. Then they got officers to drive them. Training motorcycles. Then they have officers to ride them.
Now, to me, that makes no sense. Why you got idle cars? Why you got cars that we gonna put this here and that's gonna deter crime, but now we know ain't nobody in the car. So go with you.
It's all about putting the money elsewhere. All it's about putting the money elsewhere. But I think we gotta wait 8-9 months for somebody to come up with an idea to up the pay for officers to keep the few we still got.
But can I just go ahead and say, as far as up the pay for police officers now, that's over with. Because they didn't just gave the officers a raise right there.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, they gave the
police.
they gave
before they decided to go elsewhere. They should have been doing this.
well, they gave the officers a raise. Yes, they did. Now the auxiliary officers, those are the guys that are working in the schools that I'm talking about, making the $15 odd cents. Those guys.
What are the regular officers make currently?
What? Say again now.
What's the pay of the regular officers, the ones that work the streets?
Well, the starting pay is $51,000. So if you break that down, you're probably right at $25 an hour starting pay.
But there, okay, hold on. Can you tell me what is the difference between the officers, the resource officers, and an officer that's in his patrol car?
Okay.
What's the difference in training?
No difference.
Actually, none, because they all retired. They're retired off.
So they're, I don't think all of them are retired. Like what is it? Is there a difference in training? Like, are they recruiting specifically resource officers? Is there a specific recruitment for them? Or what is the difference? If you're with because I've known police officers who have been police officers for a while. They haven't retired. They just decided that they want to become resource officers. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're close to retirement, and they're still officers. They were officers on the streets.
That's correct.
So is there a difference? Yeah, that's what I know. Like a lot of my kids there were officers who were officers, and they just the position became open, and they chose to go into school.
Right.
So they have the same training, I would think. Do they? Unless they're just new, and it's just this new thing where we're going to have these officers that we're going to have for resource officers. So if that's not the case, then what is the difference?
Okay, here's what years back they started what they called auxiliary officers. Now, the auxiliary officers, the qualifications is that you must be APO certified, which means you certified by the state of Alabama to be an Alabama Peace Officers training course. You completed that. So in other words, you really technically still a sworn officer, but you retired from another agency. You can be from the state troopers. You can be retired from the county, the city, even from Mississippi, any other agency. Now, you don't have to be just retired. You could be a person that worked in Utah, and I'm just using that for an example, that's making $12, $13 an hour, but seeing this job as a position of $15 an hour. That's $2 more. As long as you worked in Utah and you was APO certified, if you wanted to leave your agency or leave Utah and want to come and be an auxiliary officer in Tuscaloosa, your fine duty is just working elementary schools. That's it. You don't work the streets. You don't
So
have,
APO certified, what is it? Do all officers have to be APO certified, or just those who want to go to a different?
no, all officers must be APO certified.
Okay, all officers must be APO certified.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, if they're in Utah, but to come here and work as an auxiliary, is that the ones that work in the school? That's what the resource officers are? Are they auxiliary
Correct.
officers?
Right, right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they come here. I'm trying to understand, why would there be a pay difference? Why would there be a pay decrease? Because look at what also is going on with these active shooters and things like that. Their lives, they putting their lives at risk just like regular officers. Maybe not as often, but there's the possibility that anything can happen. Kids get into fights at school. Officers, teachers are not supposed to mess with them now. I'm thinking officers can break it up. Officers can get hit with a chair. Officers can do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Officers are counselors in the schools. I don't understand what the pay difference is, because like I said, I knew not all of them was retired, because there were officers I knew that were working, that were still police officers, but they were only working in school. So if you had a police officer right now today that said, you know what, I think I want to work in the schools, there's a regular street, has a street, his patrol car, he has a street assignment.
Mm-hmm.
He'll have to take a pay decrease if he decides he wants to become an auxiliary officer.
No. No. And see, the auxiliary officers mainly were working your elementary school. You got the city of Tuscaloosa got 10 elementary schools, so they was trying to hire 10 officers to do those schools.
Okay, somebody got a TV on or something that's loud? It's kind of loud.
Kai, turn it down a little bit, Kai. So the city of Tuscaloosa have 10 elementary schools, and at one point they was trying to fill those with auxiliary officers, which were people such as myself that were retired or just came from another agency that was certified or sworn law enforcement. But your duties, your qualifications is the same as a police, but your duties were not. In other words, you don't have to answer calls. You don't have to work traffic accidents. You do take a report if something happened at that school, and then if there's something that happened at the school, you can make an arrest. So the qualifications are the same. It just the performances of your duties is different.
Pretty much your performances probably won't be as much. With the things you have to do, you won't have to do as much. You probably won't have to be. I understand, I guess, why there would be a pay difference, but to me it would have to be slight, because of those officers, those who are retired and those who are not. So, like I said, like if somebody's an officer today and he decides when school starts, right now he wants to go to his supervisor and say, look, hey, I want to work in the schools. Mm-hmm. He does not have to take a pay decrease.
Mm-mm. And then on top of that, if he works overtime, he's getting paid time and a half of $25 an hour, which comes to about what, $40, maybe $40, $42, $43, compared to this person is making $15, getting $22 an hour. But they're doing the same job with the same.
So which ones are the ones making $15 an hour? I guess
that's the auxiliary. That's the auxiliary officer position.
That's the auxiliary officer position. So an auxiliary officer position, that's like you come in, like I go and say, I apply right now. You just go and apply to be an auxiliary officer?
No. Once again, you have to be certified now. Remember, you got to still carry your certification.
Yeah. You gotta be certified. And what else?
As long as you stay certified, you can apply. Like I said, Northport, say an officer just start working at Northport and say, hey, I'm going to apply for this auxiliary position. He's qualified. He get hired on. As long as he ain't got no discrepancies as far as, bad references and stuff. Well, he qualified for the job. But at $15,
but he's gonna be qualified. He's gonna qualify because he's working as an auxiliary officer. He's gonna make $15 an hour. Whereas when he was working in Northport, he could have been making $25, $30 an hour.
Right.
See, I don't see that. That to me, that's not right. I mean, I know in all fields, that's just that. I know in all fields, like as maybe not, I won't say fireman because that's a little different. Maybe a teacher or something, a nurse. If you've done something and you was just like, whatever your pay was as a nurse, you're not trying to go. Then you can take a lower paying job. It's because usually the easier jobs are lower paying, and that's what I'm taking from this is that they're saying their job is a little bit easier, so we're just gonna pay them like $15 an hour. But whether if it's somebody who's actually on the Tuscaloosa force right now, if they decide to become an auxiliary officer, they're not going to drop their pay. If they were making $25 an hour today, they became an auxiliary officer in the fall. They're not going to drop their pay, right?
So they at this point he's not actually called an auxiliary officer at this point because
Right.
at this point he's still a police officer, but he works in the school and they call them a resource officer.
Resource officer. That's right. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I know it's like a police officer, auxiliary officer, and a resource officer. So that's what those are three differences that you have to be aware of. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So the regular officer can become a resource officer and he's gonna still keep his pay. If he decides, okay, next when school starts, I want to be a resource officer. If there's an opening in the school, I want to apply. And if he applies and he gets it, he's gonna still keep his regular pay.
He's gonna keep his regular pay with he's still
his benefits, everything stays the same.
Everything stays the same.
Okay, but the auxiliary officers are not. And to me, I don't know, all of the details and ins and outs, but that just seems like I can understand a slight decrease for whatever reasons they come up with, because they make reasons for doing everything. But not a decrease that's $5 more or less.
That's been my.
Because you got people making $25, and then you tell these people they gotta make $15.
That's been my whole point. And it's like it was like you in other words
25 is just starting off. The 25 is what they start.
I mean, I know what it is. I know what it is. I'm just saying it's just the principle of it. It's just the fact of the matter.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter if it's 25, if it's 40, and the person, whatever it is, I can see if you're gonna, because some things are based on experience and years time in. So I can understand it being less to a degree, but you may have an auxiliary officer who's been, like I said, an officer somewhere else, and I don't know. It's just something I know that, like I said, the duties may not be as the same because they are in schools. Mm-hmm. But like they like Darren said, they can still do whatever a regular police officer can do.
I think the auxiliary officer was a little loophole that they tried to bring in, like, because most of them were supposed to be like retired officers, and they just wanted to do a little something extra, and they're gonna work in the schools, in the elementary schools or whatever, and that was just with him out the resource officers because they had a shortage of officers.
Right.
In Tuscaloosa Police Department.
Right. Yeah, that's why I was making sure I got the clear understanding of what a resource officer was as opposed to an auxiliary officer.
That way, you're not taking as many of your officers from the streets. That's right. In other words, can you imagine taking 10 sworn officers off the street to put in the elementary school? And I'm a police officer and I'm working midnight shift, right? And the position came open, and you hired 10 new officers with no experience, making pretty much $3. We'll say I've been there 5 years, and they just started, and they got 1 year under their belt. But you put them in the school, in the elementary school, and I've been there 5 years. Don't you think I want the job that's less stressful for answering calls? Less hazardous going on a robbery call. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you gotta think about that. That 5-year veteran might be like, I ain't finna let y'all take my position. Well, I don't think it's fair they get my position because they just started. That's the idea or the concept. But what it was the idea of just making sure the schools were covered with law enforcement, sworn police officers. Now, like I said, if the job didn't call for you the qualification didn't call for you to be a sworn officer, and if you said, like you said earlier, any John Doe could apply, and they put you in the school and train you what to do, then okay, you saying $15. You see what I'm saying? You that's up to that individual that wants to go in there and say, Okay, I work for $15. But you got a specific qualification that just anybody can go do this job.
Right.
Hold on, Mike. Let me break you one last opinion. One thing. Veronica brought up. She said? What about a retired school teacher? Kelly, right now, if you're a retired school teacher, they're gonna hire you in to go work substitute at what, $95 to $95 to $125 per day. So 8 hours. Let's say I think it's 125. So 8 hours. It ain't even quite 8 hours. Let's just say 7 hours until 125. You're looking at what 30, 20 to 28 to $30 an hour for a retired teacher. Just hey, want something to go do? Sit in the classroom, help out the school system, right? Pretty much. Same thing I see with this. The same thing I see with this. But that's been my debate since 2019.
Yeah, because I'm thinking when I think about a retired teacher, you get a regular sub, anybody like we can go in and be substitutes. Of course, the retired teachers make a little bit more than just a regular person that's just gonna be subbing. Because they got tiers. You got just somebody who just hired in, like I say, might make 95, but if you're a retired teacher, you make 125. Well, with the economy and with things and just with time in general, even though they're retired, if they're coming back, they kind of helping you out. And especially if it's a retired teacher, I'm saying give them a little bit more because they have qualifications that you just, like I said, those qualifications got them past the $95 an hour that just an average, like a gas station attendant can go be a substitute on as a second job. Okay, well, the qualifications, her experience and all, they got her maybe $40 more, $30 more. Well, kind of sometimes you may be even able to get some of these teachers to come out of retirement. Some teachers retire like people in the military at 40, 38, 40, young. So you want to entice them, maybe give them a little bit more as a sub, and they start making a little bit more money again. If they've been retired 2 or 3 years, and hey, they may go back and say, you know what, I'll try. I'll go back and do me another 2 or do that as a teacher.
Yeah.
But if that pay is right, because they looking at it then as I'm retired. Y'all looking at me as retired, like, well, you retired, we just want you to sit in a substitute. But any substitute teacher worth their brain, they not just gonna sit in there when those kids need help, knowing they know how to do certain things. If it's a math class, they taught math. Because I could go in there and just and I'm like, well, okay, and I could help them try, but then I could be like, okay, well, y'all wait till the teacher come back tomorrow, because that's how subs do. If you got a retired teacher, they, especially if they're a math teacher in a math class or English teacher in an English class, they can probably help, because there's so many qualifications now that teachers have to keep up on, kind of like a continuing education thing. So even though they're retired, don't think that they're behind. Right. Unless they retired 20 years ago or something, but you know what I'm saying? So like sometimes that even could get you another full-time teacher back. If you're gonna pay them right. Give them part-time benefits. Even though they're retired, if they're a teacher, give them part-time benefits. Unless they're retired, they get their full benefits, and they, they get what they can get. But if you can get them back into the workforce that way, I'm saying all teachers aren't going to do that. But I'm just saying, I understand like why there's some pay discrepancies amongst workers, but with this day and time, $15 is what they was trying to get the federal government to go to. $15 is not a lot of money. And I'm talking about ain't nobody, they ain't gonna make you rich. But if you people trying to survive, pay rent tripled. Mortgages didn't triple, but mortgages went up.
Yeah, and that's
unless you already had one.
That was the question that I was gonna say. Like at this point, you got the City of Tuscaloosa Police Department, and then you got the City Board of Education or the County Board of Education. All right, the City of Tuscaloosa is gonna pay $15 an hour for an auxiliary officer. Let the other $10 come from the board, because you actually helping them out so they can help each other out, and that should be able to help the finance, in my opinion. That way, they'll be able to pay those resource officers, and they'll be able to have more resource officers in the actual schools.
Well,
that would be city and county. If you got the county board to sign on and the city board to sign on.
Mike, that
Because
makes
now it's not just a matter of breaking up fights, keeping people in line. It's a matter of dangers that may be coming from outside.
school dangers.
So they may need to start thinking about stuff like that, taking that into consideration.
Mike, you're absolutely right. Both of you are absolutely right. So, from my understanding, last word we heard from not Myra, Marvin, that they are working. They are looking into making some adjustments to make sure the schools are covered, and the pay was one of the priorities that they were going to look into. So. I'm glad to hear that, and waiting to hear from the guy that's still working there to see, hey, like one of my friends said, until they put it in writing and he get it on his paycheck, that's when he'll believe it.
Yeah, because that's the whole. They tend to get hung up in the discussions, and the discussions tend to last forever and ever. And initially, it's, hey man, we discussing this, we gonna work it out, and that ain't doing me no good if 5 years later you still discussing.
Yeah. Well,
get left on the table.
Like I said, those guys that are still in the position as auxiliary, they are just there for dedication, and I pat them on the back because two of them I know for sure really don't have to do it. I mean, I know they don't have to do it, but they just wanted something to do as a job, being involved in the community, and of course, school, elementary schools is a low risk opportunity for, I guess you can say, low risk situation, but it's also a high risk when you come to active shooters. Most schools that are active shooters, elementary. I think most schools that have the active shooter situation come from an elementary school level. So, but far as fights and dealing with smoking and different stuff like that, that they ain't really got to deal with a whole lot of disciplinary issues from the first or kindergarten to the fifth grade. I think that's where they go to. Yeah, fifth grade. Yeah. Right. So yeah, you see that as a low risk, but it depends also which elementary school you at. Now, hey, yeah, we know one side of this, one district is a whole lot more hazardous than the next district. We know that. Yep. So it depends on which district you get that you can say, hey, I ain't got to worry about breaking up fights and disciplinary problems from the parents and stuff like that. No, you got some parents come up there and cuss like I don't know what at an elementary school compared to one side of town to another. That's right. So, but that was the thing, okay, we're going to offer you insurance and $15 and some odd cents pay, and you do this for these. You don't have to answer no calls. That's understandable, but you know what? You're still at risk. Right. Still at risk. That's the point. And and it was smart. It was smart for some of them. I know some of them. They still went back and put high life insurance policies on themselves for their family because you're still at risk. Mm-hmm. That insurance policy wasn't the same when you working for 20 years ago compared to now. So when you buy a whole life insurance policy, it depends on your age and everything, your health. But compared to then, you could have bought a 20-year term life policy of $500,000, and you probably paying $25. But now you try $500,000 term life policy for a 50, 52, 53-year-old man, it's a whole lot more than that. Whole lot more. But that's what. That's all. I just, I just make that justification clear for those guys. Um, I pray for them all the time that hey, nothing happens. And we'll talk more about the importance of law enforcement in our communities. I mean, it goes beyond. I think Curtis said all the time, there's some bad ones. It goes beyond the bad ones because what would we be if we didn't have law enforcement?
It'd be way worse.
That's true. And I think we got to work on the respect of law enforcement. I think that we got so many parents now that kind of letting their kids not teaching respect for law enforcement, and that's one of the reasons why you don't have people that's wanting to grow up to be a police officer now.
Yeah.
I just made a post today. Why they got these children right here calling Tina, Veronica, Angela. They 10 years old, 12 years old, and parents not correcting. You ain't even gotta say ma'am to me as long as you say miss so and so. Because unless you old enough to darn be my age, I know some of us have them at 14, 15. I get them. I let them go get with. Because some of them almost got grandkids, got big kids. But if you talking about somebody your child, and especially your grandchild, and you sit here and you hear them call somebody by their first name and don't put miss or miss, and you don't say that. Those are the foundations of respect that are getting lost amongst people, let alone other authority figures. Call them for by their first name. People just don't know respect, and then you correct them. The parents mad, and I'm talking about these parents who you think will know better. And I got to always say, it's our peers. Some of our peers don't want to say nothing to these kids or to their grandkids. Yep. And it be wrong. And we wasn't raised that way. They wasn't raised that way. You say miss or miss, you put a title to somebody's name. You 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, you 20 years old. If you're 20 years old, somebody old enough to be your parent is your elder.
Veronica, I have so much respect for the young people these days that if they, I mean, you could be 20 and you're part of my program, I still call you sir or ma'am.
See?
With respect. I said, that's just respect.
But they not making you do it at the house though. Yeah, so like they encounter you though, and they people like you, they learn. But by that time, some of them is like 20 years old.
I still call
and they feel funny saying it, but some of them they feel funny, but they say it because they know it's right.
I personally make it a point that if there's a person that has a title, pastor, bishop, officer, military, sergeants, whatever rank you have, if you commissioner or whatever position you have, I've made it my business to announce or pronounce your proper title. And people that know me from years back, they call me Little Bit. That's what Daniel put on there. And my nickname is Little Bit. And I have parents that know me as Little Bit, but when I was a police officer, they would say, "Hey, Little Bit, oh, I'm sorry, Officer McKiss," because they respected me as the officer. But at the same time, they knew me because we grew up together, and they would say, "Hey, Little Bit," and I'll say, "Hey, thank you, but we still on Little Bit level." In other words, you still Leak or Ant or whoever, and we got those nicknames, but the respect level was there back and forth. Yes, sir, no, sir, ma'am, whatever. So you're right.
Yeah.
But I was going to
ask
you.
If somebody told you didn't have to, then that was fine. But even when they told you, you felt funny, and you would catch yourself saying it.
Still do.
But these kids now, they don't catch themselves saying it because they don't, unless like Darren said, unless they encounter somebody like him and they hear it given to them, They looking at you like, that's your name, ain't it?
Mm.
And I'm like, those are the foundations of respect. They don't respect elders old enough to be their parent and grandparent. How do you respect the other authority figure? Because the elder old enough to be your parent and grandparent is an authority figure.
That's
That's
correct.
right.
Used to be when it was a village.
Yeah, you're right. Veronica, I'm not sure if you know this young lady, Brittany Lewis. We're gonna have her on the show, if not this week, hopefully next week. She's starting a young ladies mentoring program. I think it's a great idea. I forgot the name, what she called it.
Brittany Lewis. I heard her name, but I don't think I knew her because I heard about the program.
Yeah,
I
she's
saw you had posted it, and I heard another lady friend of mine told me about it. And
yes,
I'm just glad somebody's doing it because it seems like people will start programs and they kind of just fall to the wayside.
well,
But from what I'm hearing, I think this is going to be a good program.
I think so too. She's young. She's an energetic young lady. She's an RN also. She is an RN.
Okay.
So I remember Brittany. She used to play basketball back in the day for Central and West Lawn Middle School. Very great athlete. Went on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just tell y'all. I used to help coach um, girls basketball at the middle school level. And I've seen several of those young ladies went out to be very successful. Brittany is one of them. There's another young lady named April, and she's a doctor in Tennessee. We're gonna bring. I would love to bring all these young ladies back to our community, but they, spread it out throughout the whole country. But these particular young ladies were very, very smart cheerleaders. Right now, I see some of these same young ladies. They're playing parts in our community as representing the community very well, from doctors to nurses. Even some of them even became law enforcement. So
Yeah.
I plan on bringing some of those young ladies back, and we concentrate on the young men so much that we don't pay a lot of attention to the young ladies, and that's what made me see the thing that Brittany had put out, and I'm planning on bringing all of them, not all, but a majority of them back to host a program just to share what they seen as a uphill battle to where they are now. Several of Central High School basketball girls, young ladies, are playing valuable roles. They have, matter of fact, Jasmine Hall. Her mom helped with the baseball and basketball at middle school, and she was a part of those programs. And she's playing a vital part in Florida. Uh, like I said, April, she's in Tennessee. Brittany Meriwether Williams, she's in Huntsville. She's a successful business entrepreneur, social worker slash. So these are young ladies that I can vouch for that were talented but academically smart as well, because you can see they're doing so well right now. Uh, Oh, Q says I met her Friday. Yes, she is great. She's talking about Brittany. Brittany is a very talented young lady, and I can't wait to have her on the program. Her and some of the other young ladies, Kimberly. It's several of them. I'm so proud of them. When I see them, I be like, I'm so proud of you. You did great. Not that they were problems, but just to see the success that they have carried out since middle school. Like I said, this was middle school level. So yes, I hope Q, she's watching. Yeah, Q, I hope you and some of the others can please get behind her and help her to make that program a success, because there again, we look at our young men, but we're not looking at our young ladies. And hey, we want to make sure we continue to carry the torch or pass the torch, because baseball coaching this year was totally different. And what I mean by that, I'm gonna keep it respectful. When I stopped teaching or being a coach, the young men that were involved, I was really expecting that they would continue on the baseball coaching series from the YMCA or wherever. But apparently, there's been a loss of interest, a loss of a decade of young men and women. Now, I can't recall too many young men that couldn't catch a baseball, but it showed a lot during this tenure of baseball this year, and that told me it wasn't about teaching. It was just my team was better than your team. Now you get men involved in youth sports to the point that they had the best team. But you're missing the point. It's about teaching the kids to have an interest in baseball or basketball or football, whatever role you're playing. Yeah, we want them to win, but we also want them to be competitive and knowledgeable of the game. I had people that I didn't realize, kids didn't realize 9 players is on baseball at one time. So I was disappointed in in the level of coaching that took place after we left. What I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I seen a lot of young men and women that were teaching at 5 and 6 and 7, 8 year old, and the way it's supposed to be. You move up each year from level to level to level. And my 9-year old through the 12-year-olds, we've lost a decade of kids right there. We got to get back out and get more involved. Men and women. I'm serious. I mean, everybody ain't a coach. I ain't say I'm the best, but I can, do a little bit. But we gotta get back involved. We didn't have enough coaches this year. We didn't really have the ample amount of players at the 11 and 12-year age, and I think I advertised about that. So next year, hopefully, we'll have more interest, but we can't start in April. Actually, recruiting for baseball right now starts yesterday. It starts yesterday. And then talking with some of the coaches on this middle school and high school level that, want to help or part of the help. They say they see it on that level. We can't be competitive because the basic skills are not being taught properly at a younger age. And, we always say, okay, the white kids start at 2 years old playing baseball or 5 years old. Well, ain't nothing stopping us from starting from 5 year old, but we got to teach them to be properly disciplined and trained to do it correctly. The basic skills of catching and throwing are natural to us in a lot of sense. But if you don't participate or get the proper training or being offered the proper training, then you go do what you know best. Just street ball, street throw. When I say it wasn't just my team. I mean, it was several team members that we all discussed that we want to make sure that the players are fundamentally sound next year before we get out on the field, because we want to see more catching, more competitiveness of hitting and fielding the ball, that away compared to just stealing your way around the bases. Pretty much cheating your way around the bases. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's I think there's a lot of parents that don't, well, father figures that don't get out there and just like throw the ball with the kids, like they used to. When we were little, so my pops, my grandfather even would go out there and throw the ball with us, or try to. He'd tell us to try to strike him out. Um, so that made it kind of fun, especially when you're doing it with a father figure. When you get into an organized sports type of arena, then you do know. It's like what you were saying. You already know how to catch a ball. I guarantee you, some of those kids, the ball coming at them, they're kind of closing their eyes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They scared it's gonna hit them. It's gonna hurt or something to that aspect. So, yeah, it's just something that we kind of losing sight of some things that we did when we were little. Once again, it just feels like you don't got enough time to do stuff, but we gotta kind of make time for our kids.
We do. And
I agree with that.
one thing I'm gonna say one thing that Tim said months ago: 3 hours a day. That's from the top, from the bottom. What I mean by that, if every parent could just spare 3 hours a day, or any volunteer could just spare 3 hours a day, will probably make a whole lot of difference for these shootings and things going on. I think that will make a big difference. Just 3 hours a day, not being organized sports for as, oh, I run a traveling ball squad or AAAU team. No, I mean literally volunteering your time with other kids other than your own. I think it'd make a difference. Deacons, pastors, teachers. Well, teachers do it already because they already deal with your kids while you're gone. But just a little bit more involvement, I think will make a difference, y'all. I really do. I really do. That's how I see it. It's gonna take more of the village to help curb some of this violence that we got going on.
Yeah.
Because just think about it.
That is so true.
Just think about it. If you're not, if everybody else doing right and doing good, something you don't want to be the only one that's thinking, "Oh, uh, I got left behind." No, you're gonna try to do right and get a part of it too. I think the movie Lean on Me. No, was it not Lean on Me? It was Coach Carter.
Yeah, Coach Carter.
Coach Carter, the movie. That was a prime example of the little Mexican kid, wanted to be a part of the streets, and all the other players, decided, hey, I'm gonna play basketball. I want to be trained right. I want to go to the next level. And once he seen that nobody else was a part of it, and he went through his little segment when he lost his cousin or whoever it was from a shooting, he came crying back to the coach. I want back on the team. I want back on the team. And that's what I see. I think you see more kids saying, I want back on the team rather than being a part of the street team. But like Tim said, if we could get more people to be more involved, at least just 3 hours a day. Just 3 hours a day.
Yeah, that's true. And everybody always wants to, but the first thing that usually hinders it all is they don't have enough time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people are busy, but I mean sometimes it's like our parents and grandparents. You make time for what you want to make time for.
That's true.
So you don't have to give the whole 3 hours, the whole 2 hours. You might just do 30 minutes. Your 30 minutes might be bringing in cold water, talking for a few minutes, and getting on about your business.
I applaud the coaches and people that did do it. Woodrow, Woodrow, he was coaching the Northport team. He had a clan of people. He had Kevin Strode, he had Bridget Mims, he had Paula Cadell. He had several folks that were involved with the Northport team throughout from the community, helping with coaching. I don't know all the coaches, but I do recall them. And that's a big factor of when you got people that run businesses or have other jobs, but they make time for other children, other parents' children, pretty much. That showed me that it can be done. The little 6 weeks that I was doing it, believe me, from school, going from work from 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning to practice to 7 o'clock that evening, and running back to get, to me it was worth it. It was worth it. Seeing the smile on the kids when they hit the ball and made it out, it was worth it. And I think we just got to get back to it.
Yeah.
But it was exciting. The parents and the grandparents, they came out to support the kids. I seen several grandparents came out. That was good. And I seen several parents. Like I said, not just on the small 4 and 5-year-old league. I mean all of them. I seen all of them. So we just got to make time to try to make a change more by doing more. And like the assistant coach that I volunteered to be my assistant coach because he had a son on the team. Come to find out, me and his daddy were good friends back in the day, and I just didn't remember him as being a child. But that's how it was. So once I started paying more attention to him and looking at him and hearing him talk and putting grandmamas with the grandchild, it all came to full circle. That okay, now I feel comfortable that I can trust this young man to be the head coach, and I just be the assistant coach. But I can switch roles because now I can just show up when need be and then keep the books, and when he got to be at work and he can't hold practice, then I can be there. That's the kind of concept I like, passing the book. But Brittany Lewis, we're gonna get her on the program and some more young people. And Mike, we keep asking that question: what can we do to get to the young people that we're not reaching? Well, we're gonna start reaching more and more into the younger generation than from us. So if I'm 57, Brittany probably about 27, probably might be 30. I'm not sure, but she's a younger lady. She's a young lady, very talented. Looking forward to putting her on the sheet. I already invited her. She just said let her know, and I'm gonna reach out to Dr. April. She's in Tennessee, and maybe they can kind of inspire some other people to be some other young ladies and stuff, and maybe they can share to us other than the fact of going through Instagram and TikTok and all these other Twitters and stuff that hey we can make contact through maybe through their pages, maybe they might have a connect through their pages that can connect to somebody else's page that can continue, just cycle down. Because, like I said, we probably got a 25-year differential of friendships. People that friend with me are around my age. The 5,000 friends that I got, they between the ages of 35 and above. So how's a 20-year-old going to see my page unless I got someone that got to connect from a 30-year-old or to a 20-year-old to their page.
That's right.
So maybe we can increase it that way. I have some other ideas for us. The talk show, reaching out more to more people and get more input or ideas, share more ideas. Uh, I just see I can do a better job of promoting what we're doing here on the program. Not necessarily everybody gonna chime in anyway, but still, I'm seeing 475 people viewing after a given day or a given night sometimes. So it's still popular. We just want more participation. And everybody ain't gonna talk. I had several people say, I listen to y'all all the time. It's just I don't want I don't want to comment, or I don't want y'all to see it. I'm like, what you afraid of? You got, I just don't want nobody to know.
I hear it too, Daryl. To be honest with you.
I don't want nobody watching to know I'm watching. Oh, what you afraid of? The truth? Well, y'all, it's 10 after 10. We started a few minutes late, but now we got that straightened out. But we'll have more guests on Thursday. We'll start a little bit. I think my share of the cake and ice cream might be gone since I've been gone too long. So I'm going to ease on in here.
They said they met their obligation by singing you the song.
Yes. They got quiet in there. I don't hear no talking in the background. So let me go see if my piece is still available. And we'll take up this on Thursday.
Well, y'all, Katie Britt just whooped the heck out of my group.
Huh? Wow.
Boy, she whooped that joker. The national news saying 84% her, 16% him. The local news saying 65 her, 35 him.
Wow.
She whooped that joker.
She slaughtered that joker.
My. Well, that's probably going to be the next senator anyway.
Next senator. Mm-hmm. They on this now talking about how these people get these threats and stuff and how they got the threats after everything that went on. Mm. I guess to them, they weren't making threats. They were just terrifying the heck out of people, but they weren't making threats.
Right.
Standing outside these people's homes and like the two ladies that testified today, it's just awful. It's just awful. You know, the other countries licking their lips like. You really think Russia, even if Ukraine is giving Russia a run for the money, do you really think Russia is that afraid of the United States right now?
Mm-hmm.
No. He wants a war with the U.S. That man got what? He got almost 100,000 warheads. We ain't got 65?
I don't know, but I don't want one of them to turn them loose.
Right. Me neither.
It won't be no more us. It won't be no more.
No, it won't.
Hey, y'all, I'm going to turn it on in. Y'all
have all right, happy birthday again, Daryl.
Well, thank you. And
happy birthday again, Daryl.
Thank you for all the gifts.
I hope they save you a pencil.
I hope so.
That's a thin slice of cake.
Well, chocolate cake and butter pecan ice cream, they say.
Oh, you can hang that up. That butter pecan gone.
I hope not. Bye, y'all. All right. Y'all have a great.